Who doesn't want their own Necronomicon? The Necronomicon Ex Mortis, that is. The Book of the Dead. I'm talking, of course, of the book from the Evil Dead movie series. Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, and Army of Darkness. Also known as Evil Dead 3. All of the Evil Dead movies center around the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon. When read aloud from, can summon, well, the Evil Dead. In each movie, the Necronomicon had kind of different looks. So in designing my own, I was trying to do a hybrid of all of the looks from each of the movies, and at the same time stick with the same basic concept. The book is supposed to be made from human flesh, and the cover itself looks like somebody's face was stretched out over the cover. And since no one I know would let me stretch their face over a cover, I decided to go with the next best thing to human flesh. Duct tape. Other materials you'll need: corrugated cardboard, scissors, duct tape, masking tape, Elmer's glue, white cardstock or paper, Mod Podge or any decoupage sealer, brush, a lighter, cold bowl of water, hot bowl of water, tea bag, paper towels or sponge, red, yellow, and black acrylic paint. We're going to start with the backing and spine. You're going to need good sturdy corrugated cardboard. These pieces I took from a computer box, if you can't tell. I cut out a piece for the spine and I lined it all up. Taped it loosely together with masking tape, always making sure that it's still able to open and close. I taped up any open gaps. Then I reinforced it with duct tape, just to give it some sturdiness. But at the same time, making sure it wasn't so tight it couldn't open and close. For the eyes, nose, and mouth, I twisted up some duct tape into a long roll, then made the desired shapes, placing them on the cardboard. I used several pieces on the mouth to make it a little thicker. Then I used the duct tape to start making wrinkles in the skin. I took the tape and creased it and wrinkled it as I sealed it into place. And I did this several times all around the face. I even made some pieces above the eyes to give it a bit of an expression. Then I took the masking tape and started sealing down the eyes, nose, and mouth, making it look like it's more part of the surface as opposed to just watered up lines of duct tape. I even used the masking tape to make smaller wrinkles around the face. I did the same thing on the back, just using duct tape. Now it's time to paint it. You can use brown acrylic, but I used red and yellow acrylic with a touch of black. I wanted my Necronomicon to be a bit more reddish brown, like it had a hint of blood to it. I painted all around the front and back, making sure to get in all of the cracks and creases of all the wrinkles. You gotta let that dry for a few hours. Next, start on the inside covers. You'll need glue or rubber cement. You can use white paper, but I used cardstock because it's sturdier. Cut it to fit each side. Then glue them into place. Let that dry for a few hours. After it's dried, I took a hot bowl of water and I put the tea bag in it. This is what I use to stain the inside. Let the bowl cool for a bit, then you can sprinkle tea on the inside of the covers and use a sponge or paper towels to dab them into the paper. After I let that dry overnight, I wanted to really make it look like this book had been through hell, so I burned the edges. I took my lighter and started burning the edges of the book one small section at a time. I would blow out the flames and then I'd use a cold bowl of water to make sure each edge was completely put out. Now be careful when you're doing this, because you don't want to catch your book or yourself on fire. That's why I use the water, because blowing out the flames may not put it out completely. Using water guarantees it's out. Now don't try this at home, kids, and if you do, always make sure you get adult supervision when you're making your own Book of the Dead. Now it's going to get kind of messy. You'll have burned wet edges on your book, and you'll probably get your hands covered in water and black soot. But it does give your Necronomicon a nice rugged look, and you're going to want to let that dry overnight. Once it's completely dried, you can now seal everything down using decoupage sealer. I used Mod Podge. Take your brush, cover the entire book in sealer. Mod Podge paints on white but dries clear, so don't freak out when you first put it on. I covered the front and the back, the inside stain cover, and all of the burnt edges. I did one coat and then let it dry for 20 minutes, and then went back over it. When you let it dry, you're going to want to clean out your brush, because if you let your brush dry with Mod Podge, it's a pain to get it out. I did about 5 to 6 coats of sealer around the entire book. After it's dried completely, all of the paint is protected. The stained parts, each section that was burned and has black pieces to it, are now sealed in and hardened. And now, you got yourself a solid prop. It's really up to you what you want to use your Necronomicon for. You want to raise the dead, you want to summon evil spirits, you want to create a giant swirly hole in the sky, also known as limbo. Or you could just use this prop at a neat little party, a gathering, event. I myself will be using this as a prop in the next Monster Cops series. Please check out monstercops.com. Or you can also do what I did and take your Necronomicon and turn it into your very own Evil Dead pop-up book.